Okay, I'm going to flip it over. We'll pull it down, and we're going to tape this. On these boxes, we're going to do 2 tapes on the bottom and 1 on the top.
What color tape?
Our gun there is the red handle. Line that up a little bit. So obviously most of the weight's going to hit the bottom of this box, so we want to have additional strips of tape there. Now, I always write on this end, it's got the most writing space as opposed to this end. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and grab our marker, and for this job it's just going to be PO 101, and then dining room, and box number 1.
And what's the PO 101, Travis? You want to tell them
the PO number is just the number of job that we're on. It's our identifying mark for it, so that we know, hey, we're on job 101. It's from the dining room, and then we know this is the first box, so it'll be box 1. This way, when we go in, if we ever have to go back into our clean inventory, I can look it up. The job will be stored under the PO number for us, but I'll know that box 1 was from the dining room, and I can tell her what was in that if she was looking for her picture.
That's right.
Okay. So, at this point, I always start off a box. I'm going to put a couple, 3 pieces of paper at the bottom, and just for additional support. So if you want to grab a couple more, I stick them in the bottom.
And this is standard on every box.
So it's not sitting super flat. It's cushion.
So I've got a kind of a mixture of things here that we're going to pack today. And when you get a feel for it, I mean, it's kind of a puzzle you're putting together to get as much as you can in that box, use up all the available space, and get everything in there. So on this particular one, I would probably start with the least fragile piece. I'm going to put that in the bottom and probably pack some paper on the inside of it, because I'm going to stack one of these on the inside of that. Yep, and I'll stick it down in the bottom corner. Now, I'm going to be mindful that I've got this frame here that I can stack on its edge, so I'm going to leave one side of this open and available to stack those frames in there. So I padded that particular one there because I want to put this in here. And we're actually going to use bubble wrap on this, just so you see this part of this. So we do shrink wrap, and I'm going to set this in the center of this, and I'm going to wrap all the way around. And then I shrink wrap the whole thing together.
Oh, really?
Yep. So I'll let you run this.
And the more time as you do this, you do build up speed and agility because you're used to doing this. So we do this in about a second.
And then I'll just rip it. Perfect. And then I left, see how we pre-planned that so that had some padding in there, and we stick it in there. Now on this one, I'm going to do bubble wrap across the front because of the glass, and then I'll shrink wrap it. And then if I'm doing multiple pictures, which I'll show you.
Can I keep going?
Mm-hmm. You can go end over end with the shrink wrap. And just twice will work.
Yeah, and you don't have to cover every square, but just enough to keep that in place, and it's not going to shift off there.
Perfect.
Excellent.
You want to be careful.
I usually put my thumb through it,
and
then it'll rip real pretty easy on that. So I'm going to show you here. We'll stick that on the outside edge.
And Travis, why are you having him set it on its edge?
Same thing with like plates, anything that's got a horizontal glass surface. If you lay it flat, there's more area to break.
Yes.
It's weaker. If you're on its edge, it's no different than turning a 2x4 up on its edge. It's 10 times stronger than laying it flat across a gap. So this is going to make sure and less breakage, and you're just
that makes sense.
Packing smart.
Yep. Okay.
So when I'm doing multiple ones, I know I'm still doing my shrink wrap and my bubble wrap, but just to show you, I'm going to make sure that if I pack double against each other, I'm going to put a piece of paper between, just so I've got that extra protection, just to make sure there's nothing that can scratch and things like that on those.
Paper's cheap, so use lots of it.
Yeah, and we use paper religiously. Packing out, even going inside, and I would pack these out with paper that I would just use for the rest of the job on the inside, and it'll be, you know, I pack out glass things, make sure that even in the bins when they're coming out to clean, that they're well protected.
Is there a certain weight amount that you're trying to avoid?
I don't have like a scale in here that I weigh every box out on, but I sit here and when I'm doing, you know, obviously we've got books and canned goods and things like that that are going to be heavier, and I do try not to break myself or my crew that's going to be taking them in and out. So if I'm stacking a ton of books in here, I'm going to get it half full and I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to be like, okay, that's all right. I can fit probably, you know, maybe a dozen more books in there depending on the size, and I'm going to test it. I'm not necessarily the strongest person on the crew, but if I can't handle picking those things up repeatedly, I don't want to give it to my crew to have to carry.
Okay.
So,
Or the customer.
or the client if we're not resetting them. So it's a judgment call, but obviously you don't want to pack 80 pounds in every box and expect everybody to carry it around.
Okay.
So generally, though, as long as you're not packing books and canned good food items, you're going to be hard pressed to get this box that heavy with just items like this. So, okay. So, do you want to practice a couple more?
Yeah. So we're gonna
I'll let you do the whole process here.
All right.
Travis, while Maurice is doing that, what would you do to finish marking your box?
Afterwards, what I'll do is close the top up, fold it in. We're going to put our single strip of tape across the top. And then because of our glass and fragile items, we're going to use fragile stickers. And we've got a code of fragile stickers, anything from 1 to 3, depending on the amount and some of these items. A picture glass is not as delicate as, say, if you had fine china in here. So that can determine how many fragile stickers you're going to want in here. We also have, if you have a box that's just, you know, you'll get into like a china hutch that's just all fragile, it's crystal and collectible items like that. We've got these do not stack stickers, and we're going to want to put these on to make sure that we're not putting, you know, a 50-pound book box sitting on top of these boxes that have this sticker coupled with the fragile stickers here too. So.